I didn't find out about the trip from them. I found out because my aunt forwarded me the confirmation email by accident, assuming I was already included. The subject line was cheerful. Weekend reset. It took me a moment to understand what I was looking at. My mother and my brother had booked a 3-day stay at a lakeside house a few hours out of the city. The note attached to the booking, clearly written by my brother, said, "We just need peace and quiet. No drama, no noise." Then, in a separate message thread my aunt must have meant to keep private, my mother had added, "It'll be nice without her intensity this time." Intensity, noise. I've heard variations of that my whole life. I talk too directly. I ask too many questions. I don't let things go. Somewhere along the way, having opinions became a personality flaw. I didn't call them. I didn't text. I read the email again, this time slower. That's when I noticed the address. The lake house they had booked was mine. 2 years ago, I bought a small property near the water as a long-term investment. I renovated it gradually and listed it as a short-term rental through a management platform. It wasn't flashy, but it was well maintained and quiet. Exactly the kind of place people described as peaceful. They didn't know I owned it. I never made a big announcement. I learned early that my achievements were better received when they were understated. I sat with the irony for a while. They wanted peace and quiet, not my noise, and they had unknowingly reserved a weekend in something I built. I checked the booking details. It had been confirmed automatically. No special requests. No message to the host. Just my brother's name, his email, and the dates. For a few minutes, I considered canceling it outright. The platform allowed it. I could have sent a neutral message about maintenance issues. But that felt evasive. Instead, I replied to the original confirmation thread, just to my brother. "Enjoy the drive." That was all. He didn't respond. The morning of their trip, I drove out early. The house was exactly as I'd left it the week before, clean, quiet, sunlight moving across the porch. I unlocked the front door and set my bag inside. Then I sat down on the wooden steps with the keys in my hand. I wasn't there to stage a scene. I didn't rehearse anything. I just didn't want them arriving under the assumption that I was absent, from the property or from the narrative. Their car pulled into the gravel driveway just after noon. My brother stepped out first. He looked relaxed, sunglasses on, travel mug in hand. My mother followed, adjusting her scarf. It took them a second to register me. My brother lowered his glasses. "What are you doing here?" "I own it," I said. The silence that followed wasn't explosive. It was disorienting. My mother looked from me to the house, as if trying to reconcile two separate ideas. "You own this?" she asked. "Yes." Another pause. My brother recovered first. "Okay, that's great, so you can just let us in." I stood up slowly. "As the owner, I need to approve guests personally," I said. "Especially family." It wasn't entirely about policy. It was about presence. My mother's expression tightened. "We booked it properly." "You did," I said, "but you didn't know it was mine. And I wasn't asked." The word asked seemed to hang between us. My brother shifted his weight. "This is unnecessary." "Is it?" I wasn't angry. I was steady. "You said you wanted peace and quiet," I continued. "No noise." I didn't want to intrude. My mother flushed slightly. "That wasn't meant the way it sounds." "It usually isn't," I replied. No one raised their voice. The lake behind the house was still. A neighbor's dog barked in the distance. My brother tried a different angle. "Look, can we not turn this into something? We drove 3 hours." I nodded. "That's why I'm here," I said. "To make it clear. You're welcome to stay. If we can acknowledge what happened. If we can stop pretending I'm some disruption you tolerate." My mother looked at the porch railing, not at me. "We just wanted a calm weekend," she said quietly. "And I wanted not to be discussed like an inconvenience." There it was. Simple, not dramatic. My brother exhaled sharply. "So what? You're punishing us?" "No," I said. "I'm setting a boundary. If I'm too much for the trip, then my property shouldn't be the solution." The truth of that seemed to settle in. After a long minute, my mother spoke. "We didn't know it was yours." "I know. That was part of the point. They ended up leaving. There were other rentals nearby. My brother made a few phone calls from the car. No slammed doors. No accusations shouted across the driveway. Just an awkward recalibration. Before they drove off, my mother rolled down her window. "We'll talk later," she said. "I'm open to that," I replied. I stayed at the house that weekend alone. It was quiet, not the heavy kind, the earned kind. I thought about how often I'd accepted the label of being intense, difficult, loud, without asking whether it was simply inconvenient for others to hear me. Owning the house wasn't the real leverage. It was the reminder that I wasn't small. I wasn't dependent on their invitations. The next week, my mother called. Her tone was different, less dismissive, more cautious. "We didn't mean to exclude you," she said. "I believe that," I answered. But it happened. There was no sweeping apology. No sudden transformation. But there was space. I don't know if they see me differently now. I only know I see myself differently. I'm not quieter. I'm clearer. And sometimes, clarity sounds like noise to people who benefited from your silence.